Hey everybody, today on Henry's HowTos, I'm going to show you how to make Persian salad Olovieh, which is also known as Russian salad. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so very simple and straightforward. We'll start off with our carrots and potatoes. So you want about 3 to 4 potatoes. You want a nice size like that. I find that the red ones are the best for boiling, so try to use those. If you don't have those available, you can just use any potato. So we want to peel them. Okay, so that's all our potatoes peeled now. So I've got 3 and a small one. So before we continue, just set a pot to the boil as well, just to save yourself some time. Now we're going to want to peel some carrots too. I've got 7 carrots here. They're all small to medium size. If you've got big ones, use about 5 or 6. Same principle, we want to peel these as well. Okay, so that's all our carrots peeled as well. So we'll just put this all into a big container. Just like that. This just makes it easy to transport. So I've got 2 pots here. I've got a small one here going to the boil, which we're going to put some eggs into. And a big pot here, which still hasn't reached the boil. So first we'll put our eggs in and get those out of the way. Now these are small, so I'm going to use 4 eggs. Just because there's currently an egg shortage in Australia, which I don't know how that makes sense. So just put those straight in. And obviously they'll take about 7 to 8 minutes to boil, so just leave them there. So once your water's at the boil, just go ahead and put your potatoes and carrots in. And we just want to let that softly boil. We don't want them to turn into mash, they just have to be very soft. And we'll test this by just putting a fork into one of the potatoes. Okay, so once your eggs are hard boiled, so after about 7 to 8 minutes, you just want to strain them. And what we'll do is put the eggs into the fridge so they cool down. Okay, so while we're waiting for our potatoes and carrots to cook, we'll get started on our gherkins. Now, these are basically like marinated cucumbers. They're pickled, and they're a big delicacy in Middle Eastern cuisine. So I marinate a lot of these and keep them, so I've already done that part. But basically it's just gherkins with vinegar, pepper, salt, and some herbs. So what we're going to do is we want to dice these very finely. So I'm just going to stack a few up and hold them together and just dice them. So you want it to just be like that. So you'd want about 2 cups worth of these. You can put more if you prefer, you can put less if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. So we'll just keep that aside here. So just grab yourselves a big bowl. I'm just going to use a stainless steel one like that. And we're going to put everything into it just to make it easier and give us more workspace. Now we're going to need about 2 cups of chicken. Now it's very common for people to just boil chicken breast and shred it, or buy the roast chicken from the supermarkets and shred that. If you want to do that, that's completely fine. I like to use my juja chicken, which is, I've already just pre-cooked it. If you want to see a recipe for this, just click on the button right there. But this has a lot more flavour and goes very well. But all we're going to do is just shred it in your hands like that. If you want, you can dice it or slice it, but shredder works much better for this recipe. So I'm going to do about 2 cups worth of it, but obviously if you prefer more of it, just go ahead and put a bit more in a cup, so straight into our bowl. So that's how it looks like now. So just give it a quick mix so I can combine it and set it aside. So it's been about 10 minutes now, so we'll just check our vegetables. I can tell by the carrots floating up that they're ready. But if you want to test, just put a fork and see it goes in. So what we'll do with the carrots is we'll just take those out and put them into another container. We definitely don't want to overcook anything because it won't work out the same way then. And we'll just check our potatoes too. Okay, so the fork only slightly goes through it. So I'll give it about another 5 minutes and then we can take them out. This is just based on the size of your potatoes. Yours might be done by now, it just depends. So we'll just put some cold water on our carrots just to stop it from cooking. And just leave them in the cold water for about a minute just to bring the temperature down. So obviously just cut the heads off them first, we don't want to use those. So now, like I said, you can use the grater or you can dice them. For the carrot component, I'm just going to dice them as it will be easier. The potatoes will use a grater and with the eggs. So just cut your carrots lengthways. And just through there. And you just want to very finely dice it. Like that. So put that straight into your bowl as well. So that's all our carrots in there now. So give it another mix again. And as you can see, it's starting to come together. So we'll set it aside again. So now we'll bring our eggs. We want to peel all these. So just slap it against something hard. And you just want to peel it. Just like that. There we go. So we're going to use the grater for this. So make sure your eggs are cold or else this might be a bit tricky and messy. So we just want to rub it against the grater like that. And do it very gently. You don't want to cut your fingers. Small pieces like this you can just leave and dice it with your knife, that's fine. So this is all from the grater, we'll put that straight into our mix. And these big pieces we couldn't grate, we'll just slice through it. And we'll go over it a few times to make sure they're nice and fine. Just like that. So the fork comfortably goes in and out. So we'll turn the heat off. But I'll show you one trick before. We need to add peas to our salad. So I'm just going to use frozen peas. I've got about 2 cups worth here, but it's frozen. Since we're about to empty this, just pour your peas straight into there. And leave it for about a minute or two so it defrosts. So after about 2 minutes, we'll just strain it all. And go ahead and pour some cold water so it can stop the cooking process. Just like that. Okay, so back to our grater. We're going to want to grate all these potatoes. Okay, so that's all our potatoes done. So now we'll go ahead and put our peas in too. And just give that a quick mix. Just so it's combined, and then we'll get started on our dressing. So if you haven't figured it out by now, this isn't just a salad, this is a complete meal. Okay, so we'll set that all aside now and we'll get started on our dressing. So just into another bowl, we'll start off with about 2.5 cups of mayonnaise. And to our mayonnaise, we'll add about a half tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Some cracked pepper. A pinch of salt. About a 1/4 cup of lime juice. And just using a whisk, you just want to combine all that. Just like that. And just pour the dressing all over your salad. Now just use a spoon or tongs or a spatula, and we just want to mix this all the way through. And we want to make sure we get it all evenly covered. That's very important. So scrape the sides as well. Okay, so that's our basic idea there. So all we have to do now is get a nice glass bowl so we can serve it. So just into a nice plate or a bowl, depends how you're serving it. You just want to scoop it into the middle. Just like that. And to finish it off, you just want to put some mayonnaise on and just spread it on like that. You don't have to do that, but it's just a common way of doing it. And that's how we serve it, simple as that. The only problem with this salad is you can't keep it for that long. So I wouldn't go longer than about 2 or 3 days with this, in the fridge of course. If you wanted to leave it longer, the only way would be to keep the sauce separate to the actual salad mix and just mix it when you want to. But even then you only get about 4 or 5 days. So I hope you like that, guys. Please like and subscribe. If you've got any comments or suggestions, just leave them at the bottom, and I shall see you all next time.